All right, so your dryer's flashing that dreaded F5 error, right? Well, don't panic. You are in exactly the right place. We are going to figure out what's going on and get that thing back up and running in no time.
I know. Seeing any error code pop up is super frustrating. But here's the good news. The F5 is one of the most common ones out there, and you know what? It's often one of the easiest to fix yourself. So, take a deep breath. We're going to tackle this together.
In fact, over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know, how to diagnose it, how to fix it, step by step. Sound good? Let's get right into it.
Okay, so first things first. What is this F5 error anyway? It might sound all technical and scary, but really it's just your dryer trying to tell you something. It's pointing you toward a very specific problem.
Basically, that F5 code is all about something called the cycling thermostat. Think of it like the thermostat on your wall for your furnace. It's the little guy that tells the dryer when to heat up and when to cool down. The F5 error means your dryer's brain, the control board, has realized the signal from that thermostat is either totally gone or just plain wrong. So for safety, it just shuts the whole operation down.
Now, before we even think about grabbing any tools, let's try the easiest fix first. And I mean it, this is the most important part for your safety. Go and unplug the dryer from the wall. Seriously. Now, just let it sit there for about 10 minutes. This gives the control board a chance to do a full reset. Then, plug it back in and see what happens. You'd be surprised how often a simple power cycle is all it takes.
Okay, so if the reset didn't do the trick, that F5 error is almost certainly pointing us to that part we just talked about, the cycling thermostat. So our next mission is to go find that little guy. All right, you're going to have to open up the back access panel on your dryer. Now, where are we looking? The most common spot, by far, is on the blower housing. That's the big snail shell-looking thing where your vent hose connects. But it could also be on the dryer drum itself or even inside the vent duct. And here's a little heads up. A lot of dryers actually have 2 or 3 of these, one for each heat setting.
So what does it look like? You're hunting for a little round silver disc. It's maybe 1 inch or 2 across, kind of like a big coin. The dead giveaway is it'll have 2 wires plugged into it, and it's usually just held on with a single screw or a little clip. That makes it pretty easy to spot once you know what you're looking for.
Okay, so let's say you found it. How do you know for sure if it's the culprit? Well, for that, we need a really simple tool to get a definitive answer.
And I'm going to say it again just because it's that important. Make absolutely sure your dryer is unplugged, okay? Good. Now, carefully wiggle and pull those 2 wires off the little metal tabs on the thermostat. Grab your multimeter and set it to the ohm setting. It's the one that looks kind of like a little horseshoe or the Greek letter omega. Then all you got to do is touch one probe to each of the 2 metal terminals on the thermostat.
So, what are we looking for on the screen? It's simple. If that thermostat is working properly, your meter should read 0 or something super close to 0. That tells you the circuit is closed and power can flow through. But if it reads OL, which stands for open line, or it shows an infinity symbol, well, that's it. The circuit is broken. That part is toast, and you need a new one.
Okay, this is important. Finding the broken part, that's only half the battle. The real question is, why did it fail in the first place? Because if we don't figure that out, you're just going to be doing this all over again in a few months.
And when it comes to thermostat failure, there is one single cause that is responsible for almost every single case. It is the absolute #1 thing you have to check. And that cause is a clogged vent. It's that simple. When all that hot, steamy air has nowhere to go, your dryer basically starts to cook itself. It overheats, and that little thermostat is designed to be the first thing to burn out to prevent a fire. So, you absolutely must clean out your entire vent line. I'm talking from the back of the dryer all the way through the wall to the little flap on the outside of your house. And hey, while you've got the dryer open anyway, it's a really good idea to just do a quick check for a few other things. Look for any wiring connectors that look kind of burned or melted, make sure no wires are getting pinched or squished, and take a peek at the blower wheel to see if it's damaged. All these things can mess with airflow and lead to overheating.
All right, so we found the problem, and we figured out the most likely reason why it happened. Let's put it all together and talk about the final fix.
So what's this going to cost you? Well, here's more good news. A new thermostat is a super cheap part. We're talking like under $30. Cleaning the vent? That just costs you a little bit of time and elbow grease. Even fixing some wiring is pretty inexpensive. The only time it gets pricey is if the main control board fails. But honestly, that is way less common than a simple thermostat burning out.
The big question, can you do this yourself? Yeah, for sure.
If it's just swapping out that little thermostat and cleaning the vent, you can totally do this. But, and this is a big but, if you have a gas dryer or you think it might be that expensive control board, or you're just not comfortable working with electricity, please call a pro. There is absolutely no shame in that. Safety is always, always number one.
So look, here's the bottom line. That F5 error, it's almost never a disaster. It's usually just a small, cheap part that's pretty easy to replace. But more than that, think of it as a warning sign from your dryer. It's basically screaming at you, hey, my vent is clogged. It's a reminder that the simplest bit of maintenance, just cleaning out that vent, can save you from much bigger, more expensive problems down the road. So I'll leave you with this. When was the last time you cleaned out yours?